if there was a random event, God could. Well, could God know? Oh,
No, he couldn't.
He
Because it's
didn't
random.
know what caused it because nothing
wait.
caused it.
Let's. We had. I
By your
have to. I
definition, he
have
couldn't
to
know.
find. I have to find the contradiction here. Look. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. I have to find the contradiction here. So, if God knows the outcome of a random event, it's only a contradiction if random events are just defined as unknowable, as unknowable outcomes. But I don't think that's how we're defining it. We're defining it as there not being any explanation. That's different.
Hold on, no, we define them as like given all physical data, you can't know them. Given like extra physical data, you could still know them. No, so
No,
God would
that's
still
not.
be.
I mean, that's how
No,
you
because
define
there'd
it.
still be a cause then. The extra physical would be the things causing it. And how are you going to dictate that? Then you're saying there's some law-like fashion in place, and then how are you going to distinguish that from the physical?
I think God could know random outcomes based on a definition that I could take.
But they wouldn't be random under the definition we just talked about.
Well, let's just
Yeah,
establish.
Yeah, he definitely could. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to know the random
Yeah,
outcome.
so that'd just be weird as hell. Is how he came to know that, though. Look, think about it. If
But he would just know the states of affairs, right? He wouldn't know the explanation.
well, he wouldn't have a belief about an explanation. He wouldn't have a belief about an explanation. There would be no belief there.
Right.
So it would be something like, if a random event is that which an outcome in which is not caused, okay, and it would only be contradictory if it was to say that the only way to know an outcome is to know its cause.
Oh, I just came back up here real quick. Is Danny still just talking shit? Is he actually saying stuff now, or just?
He's talking shit. We'll ping you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we'll let you know if he starts saying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he
We got
says
you.
like actual arguments
But it
or
only
like
takes one person to
justifies
vote
like
against us,
anything he
and we're
believes,
lost.
let
That's
me
true.
know.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
why
By the
none
way,
of them
Joe,
will.
I ordered a new mic.
Because I have an
to
asset
today.
that they
Part of
do
the reason
not,
I tried it
which
was
is
all your
you.
complaints.
Send me
My
a
friends, prepare
link
yourselves.
to the mic you got.
The conference is about to
No.
time has come to lay down all our
Did
No,
you
no, Joe, it's just a Yeti. I got a Yeti.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Wait,
it's just kind of standard.
wait, Joe? Did you ever buy? Did you ever buy new headphones? What headphones are you using?
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm using old ones.
Did you buy new
Uh,
headphones?
I have like so many different headphones. I'm not sure which like time you're referring to.
Okay. never mind.
Oh, I got some new headphones too, because all mine are like broken. I have a Sony Studio pair that's fucking only the left ear works. The other one's broken. I got a Logitech wireless one where the fucking plastic broke and so I had to tape it together, but then after an hour it starts cutting in and out, and so that one's basically worthless. I lost multiple sets of earbuds, broke one, and I'm just like worthless. So I needed it.
Do you think, Tom, that which is perceivable must
Oh,
necessarily?
here we go again. Here we go. All right.
We're talking about headphones, and Danny comes in.
Wait,
That which is perceivable.
do you think, Tom, that which is perceivable is necessarily physical?
Yeah, but I'm a physicalist, so everything.
No, you're so. Oh, you're just so awful.
You're so awful. What were you gonna say originally?
Nothing. He's Tom's the worst.
I can't see.
Like Joe, don't you ever like just think to yourself like, how do Christians believe that shit?
Wait, what are you talking about right now? You're the one that say, "Oh yeah, everything's perceivable because I've defined everything as physical." That's so dumb because then why call it physical when you can just say it's just the thing?
I just love hearing Danny
If I
talk.
perceive it, I mean that's like I don't think you can perceive things without specific attention or temporality.
What do you think magic is?
Danny, magic isn't real.
Yeah, but is it like incoherent?
Incoherent?
Yeah,
Real
because
magic.
Real magic.
Look, what do you think it's saying? Look, what do you think it's saying when League of Legends magical damage and physical damage? You think that's nonsense?
League of Legends isn't real.
Yeah, but we're talking about the concepts.
I mean,
That must be nonsense to you, right?
under my
I'm not
world,
trolling. I
under-
am not trolling.
under my worldview, magic is
Yeah,
nonsense. Yes.
You don't think that there could be a real life Ari Foxfire?
You call that physical. That's physical damage.
Use the physical damage example.
You should write a letter to Riot saying you should change all your damage as physical. Because I don't know what you're talking about when Zillion shoots a time bomb and then when, Garen hacks you with a sword, they're the same kind of thing.
A time bomb would be temporal, so I mean that's.
Well, fireball is physical, right? Not
Mhm.
magical.
Yeah.
What do wizards study? Just like more physical things? Like they're just like a real scientist or something?
Why is Danny so manic?
Is this some sort of like appeal to
I hate
like,
Tom right now, that's why.
like fiction or something? I don't even know. It's like fantasy
Danny,
realm
tell him
stuff.
to think about alchemy.
Yeah, alchemy is a science according to Tom.
Oh,
They just didn't know all the physical facts to be able to turn urine into gold.
Well, it's yellow already, so that's a
Right,
story.
Tom? Right? All the alchemist has to say is like, oh, we don't have the tools yet. We're waiting for science to catch up to us.
Why is he laughing so maniacally?
God, I hate Tom so much right now.
I mean,
Like, he knows it's stupid. He knows it.
You can turn.
Join me in this. Ready? Physicalism is cool. Come on.
Danny, you actually can turn different elements into gold using particle accelerator.
Yeah, shut up,
So it's
Tom.
not-
I know.
So you were wrong about that, huh?
Yeah, but by distilling it? Can you do it by distilling it? Oh, okay, I got you now. I just set up.
Is alchemy strictly distilling elements into
They
another
were
element?
attempting to distill urine into gold. Now, they might be, maybe long enough, or maybe there might be some law they're unaware of, maybe the timing or the location.
Or like
right?
a particle accelerator?
Well, no, they don't want to do it that way, Tom. They want to do it distilling. Okay? You're saying they can't do that. There's some science. You just don't know the laws in terms of what would allow urine to be distilled into gold, right? This
They
is your
wanna
view,
do it
Tom. This is your view.
P into gold.
What?
They don't care the manner in which it happens. They just want to.
No. You see, me and the alchemist, we wanted to just turn it into gold just by distillation because it's just too expensive to get a collider. Are you saying this is not possible?
Well, if you're saying that, then they already know that it's possible to turn it into gold. They just, I mean, if they're
we
doing
want to
it,
distill it, Tom. Is it possible? Is it?
Benny, if you had
I got him.
an
I got him.
atomic formation that was crystalline and misshapen in just the right way, that if you said Baba Booey, Rod Stern's penis, that it would shift all the atoms over and make just like a rock of gold that looks exactly like.
Look, this is what
Halo's
Tom's
butt.
view is, right? That if someone were to claim that I'm going to distill urine into gold within an hour, okay, that Tom would say, "Oh, well, no, that could happen. There might be some law that we're unaware of that would allow us to do that." He wouldn't say that the laws of nature would prohibit such a thing, such an endeavor. Would he?
Are you saying it's not possible, Danny?
That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying
saying
that.
if you invoked supernatural, right, non-natural causes, okay, then it could happen. But you're saying that if that were to happen, that would just be the physical laws.
I'm sorry, Danny. I lost the thread.
Oh my God! Never mind. I hate you.
You know, to be fair to the alchemists, though, they didn't know how to make phosphorus from urine either, but they did that.
What game are they playing downstairs? Why is Claire posting this stuff in?
No, but seriously, Joe, do you ever just think to yourself, like,
Shut
how the,
up,
how the
Tom.
hell do
No
Christians
one likes
believe
you,
this?
Tom.
I don't get it. I think they could just compartmentalize really well.
Interesting.
Kind of like the physicalist when he thinks distillation of urine. You know that as long as there's some physical law out there that we could access, you know, that could happen.
This is kind of like the physicalists, whenever they think.
Danny, I
Whenever
just
they
asked him
think
if
what,
he
Danny?
thinks
Tom believes in
that-
magic because magic things are just physical things.
Danny, if somebody were to ejaculate chocolate, would that be physicalism or dualism?
That would be non-naturalism. But I think that I think that look, this is what he's committed to. There are no magical things. Everything that if there were magical things, they would just be physical phenomena. So that's to say that when Tom sees, he believes in magic, right? That's just what he did. He believes in magic. Tom believes in magic because it's physical.
Why is Danny so mad at
Tom, do you like
you
magic,
drunk
Tom?
right Are you drunk right now, Danny?
He believes in magic. Can you believe it?
Well, he thinks. Look. Let me tell you.
I wasn't being insincere when I asked
Danny,
that
he
question.
probably
No, let me tell you what, Josh. Let me tell you. Tom thinks that magical things are physical things. So John believes in physical things. Therefore, Tom believes in magic.
That doesn't follow, Danny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Are you drunk right now?
No. I drank a whole bottle of of sweet tea. I'm really hyper. I'm like I'm really.
He's jacked
Look,
up on sweet tea.
I drank this whole 2 liters within an
Oh
hour.
my God.
I drank 2 liters in an hour.
That's
No,
crazy.
but I don't know what that means.
Wait, no, that where is Josh? Josh, I'm right about this. Look, if I believe in physical things, and if magic are just physical things, then I believe in magic.
Go on.
Then I believe in magic.
Oh, I just jumped in the room and heard Danny say, "I believe in magic."
No, Tom
Wow.
believes in magic.
Holy shit,
No,
Danny!
no,
Really?
Tom,
I'm
no,
leaving, Danny.
no,
Fuck
no,
off,
no,
dude.
Jovan, I need Jovan because Jovan understands me. Wait, where's
He
Jovan?
left.
No, Jovan, get him back over here. Someone give me mods.
Danny, start talking about different length sticks again. Maybe that'll help Josh.
No, I need Jovan. Come back here.
Someone give me mods.
No, but seriously, Josh, do you ever just think to yourself, like, wow, how the hell do these Christians believe this trash? Like,
Yeah,
how do
you
they
believe
do
in
it?
magic, Tom. So
I'm being told to come back.
No, Jovan, look, listen. Look,
Danny.
Tom said something
Danny.
really interesting. Let me talk to you, Jovan. So
I
asked him.
First, Danny came in here saying that he doesn't care
Jovan.
about being rational.
Jovan.
Now he's just straight up saying he believes in magic.
Let me
Jovan,
holla
let
at
me
you.
tell you. Tom thinks that the notion like magic is incoherent, right? So that's to say, when he plays League of Legends, that when he sees magical damage versus physical damage, he doesn't know what they're talking about when they say magical damage.
Oh, that's
right?
equivocation, Danny.
Okay. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's equivocation.
Look, no. Look, when I hit someone with a sword, that's physical damage. When I shoot a fireball, okay,
Hey, Joe, does that sound like equivocation to you?
it's not. It's not.
I'll be right back.
If you don't write a letter,
Hit
to
somebody
Ryan,
with the sword, that's
right now.
physical damage. When I hit somebody with the fireball, that's Danny. If I throw fire at you, is that magic damage?
No, if a fireball shoots out, if I'm
Yeah, if I use an aerosol can and I have a lighter
That's not
and
a
I hit
fireball.
you with fire and I hit you with that fireball,
Okay,
that
if I-
stream of fire, is that magic damage?
if I hit you with ethereal necromancy damage, right? That's not physical. That's
That's
magical
not
damage.
physical.
Oh.
Danny, I asked Jack to come in to help us out here.
Jack, let me tell you. So this guy, Tom, okay,
This cloud.
This guy.
we've been trying to talk about what physical things are. And first of all, he doesn't think that what's constitutive of the physical are just laws governing like measurability, temperature, these things. And so I don't know why. That's one thing that we need to talk about. And the second thing is he thinks that the notion of magic is incoherent. Okay, that's because if we were to observe something that we would think to be magical, it would
think I
actually
ever
just be
said
physical.
that.
You did.
No.
Look, do you think there could be magic?
Give
I
Jack
s-
the League of Legends
No,
argument.
no, chum. Tom, do you think there?
I specifically
Thomas
said
Garbage.
that it's not logically impossible.
Okay, so there's some world in which there's magic.
Well,
Some possible world.
There's some possible. No. Let me hear it, Tom. There's some possible world in which there's magic.
it's logically possible that there's magic.
Okay, so how would you recognize magic if you think that everything you perceive is just defined as physical?
Well, it would have properties that aren't spatial, temporal, right?
Okay, so remember my original question was that do you think that everything you perceive is necessarily physical?
Under physicalism, yeah.
No, necessarily. Look, under physicalism is just to say there are worlds in which they're just physical things, so therefore yes. But I'm saying necessarily. That means to say true in all possible
Look,
worlds.
Danny, all he's saying is if there's magic, magic is physical, and if it's just like saying if there are unicorns, unicorns are physical, right? But that doesn't mean that there are unicorns. So it doesn't follow that because I believe that there are physical things, I believe that there are unicorns, right?
I think that follows somehow. We'll just have to
You think
investigate.
it follows
No,
from the
no.
fact that
No, I'm just look. This is what I'm saying. Look, this is what I'm saying. That Tom thinks. I'm just saying. Is it necessarily the case that everything that you observe with that's your sense perception would necessarily be physical? That's saying all. Is it possible to observe something non-physical in your view, Tom?
No.
Okay, so that's to say that when you're in League of Legends, okay, the distinction between when you're observing a magical damage or versus physical damage, that's nonsense to you.
Yeah, it's a video game.
Okay, you're an idiot. I don't understand.
That's fantastic.
Jack, I jumped in the room and I hear, I believe in magic.
He's so manic right now. It's so fantastic.
I just don't understand because we make claims about that was magical like that's just nonsense to Tom because we can't perceive such a thing.
Well, Danny, that's just equivocation, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Look,
Danny.
no,
Danny.
look. If I started flying, okay, and you would say that phenomenon that's a physical phenomena. Or if I saw a fire-breathing dragon, or if I saw a ghost, or a ghoul,
Yeah, I would say that could be physical phenomena, Danny. There could be something physical about what. Danny, are you saying there's not birds?
I just love how dismissive.
Danny, are you saying like flying's magic?
If I started flying,
Right, you don't think there's ways that you could fly?
Like Superman.
Yeah, Superman's causing
jetpack.
Superman has extra gases, and he uses them to propel himself forward.
Y'all are equivocating on flying.
You bastard!
You bastards.
So wait, if you saw a fire-breathing flying dragon, you would say, "Hey, look at that."
No, yeah, if I saw a fire-breathing dragon being conjured from a portal, and it started talking to me, and then it conjured a cake for me because it was my birthday, yes, I would say that was magical.
Happy birthday.
But it could be still
Hostility.
physical. It could have all been physical, right, Danny?
Yeah, that's what the
Birthdays don't
idiots would
exist
say.
physically.
That's what the idiot.
Why would that be an idiotic position? I don't understand.
I mean, it's just self-explanatory.
Danny, that
All of you suckers would believe
Look,
in
are
magic
Einstein,
if that happened.
Are Einstein, hold on a second. Are Einstein, Rosen, Bridges magic?
Look, I don't know any about Einstein, but I'm just saying that.
Wormholes. He's talking about
All I'm
wormholes.
saying is, if I saw a dragon that said "Happy Birthday, Danny" and breathed fire for me, and lighted the candles out of a cake that he created from thin air, I would say that's magic.
I'd be like, that's a big ass lizard.
Well, all of y'all are dishonest because everybody would have here would say that that's magical.
How would you differentiate between magic?
But Danny, what they mean magical? They're not saying supernatural or unphysical.
That's what it means.
What? So you're just defining it that way.
Yes.
Yes.
How would you distinguish that from like?
Then we wouldn't call it magic.
Hold on, Penis had a question.
I'm pretty sure Jack agrees with me.
Jack, you there, buddy?
Well, I don't think it makes sense to say that magic is physical.
Oh,
It would just depend on what you meant by magic, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I just think when people talk about magic, right, and they mean something different from prestidigitation or illusions or something, is they're talking about something non-physical.
What's the first thing you said? Prestidig what?
Prestidigitation.
Like sleight of
See, if you're gonna say it's something non-physical, then I wouldn't say that the dragon's magical, right?
Well, its powers would be.
What power? Is the ability to breathe fire? What if it's using some sort of biological mechanism to breathe fire? Otherwise, unless you're saying it's not, right? But nobody stipulated. He just said if you see a fire breathing.
Magic. If a dragon existed that just had could breathe fire through some biological mechanism, there'd be nothing magical about it. It would just be a natural entity that we didn't know about before.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I thought that what Josh was attributing to Tom, the view that magic is just something that would be physical, but then it just wouldn't be magic.
Which is why I use then all kinds of damage are physical damage. There's no magic damage.
You might want to explain the concept of damage to Jack.
That's definitely equivocation.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because you're
100%.
You're talking about League of Legends or games,
in
in
a
which it's
world-
just different kinds of damage for different damage bars.
The reason why we call it magical damage is because there are the powers that are exercised by the heroes are not.
Those aren't necessarily
natural.
non-physical.
Well, I'm just saying that if it were magic, it'd be magic.
Danny, Echo's magic damage is basic attacks.
No, he's not magical.
He uses ability power.
Do you think when Vel'Koz fires his giant laser at people that it's not physical?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's definitely not physical. That's
What are you talking about? Just
You
'cause-
raise your magic
I
ability
understand in
by
the
buying
game.
physical
Hold on. Yeah, I understand in the game it's called magic damage, right? But he's fucking shooting people with a laser.
Yeah,
What about?
if
yeah,
I
what
you
is the
think
magic
Super-
damage damaging?
Look, I'm just saying that if you explain every kind of phenomena and all kinds of worlds as just being physical, then the magic is just an incoherent notion.
Not if magic is referring to the sort of whimsical. Okay, fire comes
Look,
from
is
where
there
you
a
wouldn't
world?
expect it.
It's simply like this: is there a world in which when Vel'Koz uses the laser, it's magical? Is there a world in which that happens?
I would describe that as physical.
Right.
I mean,
So there's no world in which it's magical.
You're just equivocating on magic.
No, I'm actually not.
I don't really understand what you mean when you say magical.
Okay, so that's just to say it doesn't. I think it doesn't obey laws like the transitivity of length and all this stuff, right? I mean, I could read out like something that
Danny,
might
how
help.
could you tell that it's magic if it doesn't obey laws?
That's a different question.
Yeah, because it couldn't be studied, right, Danny?
It couldn't be studied.
Well, you couldn't explain anything.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it means anything to say it wouldn't be holden to law.
What question are you distinguishing? Here? I'll hold off on that question.
Jack, do you ever just like think to yourself, how do these Christians believe this? Do you ever just like, I mean, aside from all the philosophy and the arguments, do you ever just think that?
Yeah, like, think about. I mean, they just say such crazy things.
Well, I mean, for Christians, aside from all the philosophy, we think y'all are pretty crazy too. Like that we just randomly got here? Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, but you literally believe in magic.
You literally don't believe it.
Yeah, how can atheists believe this though?
This is what
I mean,
they do.
This is what they
atheists believe.
do.
When you look into the, looking out in the world, oh, it's all random.
Answer the question, Danny.
It's all
It's a
determined.
coincidence.
It's just a happy coincidence.
What
Okay,
exactly is a
Jack,
coincidence?
if you think that like magic is incoherent,
Jack doesn't think that.
Just forget about it. Let's
Well,
go.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm not clear what magic is supposed to be. All I know is that it's not physical.
but what about like in works of fiction where they treat it like a science?
yeah, like the MCU, when Thor electrocutes people, it's not that it's not physical. He even goes, I think in one of the Thor movies, he says, look, your interpretation of magic is just our interpretation
Well,
of
that's
science.
Marvel, but if you talk about DC, they have magic.
Okay.
But the point
that's
is,
actually
Danny, the point I was making is that it's still physical.
That's actually false because magic exists in Marvel too. Doctor Strange and
Doctor Strange
Juggernaut is magically powered.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that's all physical.
It's all physical, Tom.
No, it's literally magic.
But that's just the case for physical magic.
well, there's two issues with that. The first is that in the MCU, they actually go through pains to avoid using the term magic, right? To the point that in Doctor Strange, when he's conjuring
That's
spells,
false. The Juggernaut actually says my powers
yeah,
are not immune.
well, I was just
My
gonna,
powers are
just real
magic.
quick, since you used Doctor Strange as an example, right? They compare it to creating programs from the source code of the universe. They shy away from saying it's magic, and it's definitely physical. So
Wait, Tom, do you think Doctor Strange uses magic?
Well, I'm not so sure about Doctor Strange. I guess. If that's, I mean, I'll defer to Pogan on that, but
No.
the Juggernaut's powers are magical.
Okay, what does that mean?
No, dude.
colloquially, you could say Doctor Strange.
What does
uses
that
magic.
What does that mean, Tom?
There's no physical explanation for his powers, and yet he has them.
Oh.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I just heard the claim that there's not magic in the Marvel universe.
The
and that's
MCU, I
false.
should have clarified.
Yeah, that's false.
Well,
Because it's called the mystic art.
Tom believes in magic.
I don't know. I just seem to remember in Doctor Strange, they had like a 15-minute explanation of it being analogous to writing software using the source code of the universe, and they jumped on Strange when he tried to say it was just magic.
Okay, I have a question.
Is that about Doctor Strange?
Suppose I intend to shoot fire out of my palm. Okay, let's say I'm doing it right now. Okay, I do that, and from that intention, does the fireball, that causes the fireball to shoot out of my palm? Would you describe that as a physical thing?
I didn't. You're gonna need to repeat the example if you're asking me.
I think I know how to define magic,
Okay.
but I'll
But I
tell you.
won't.
I'll tell you all tomorrow. I think.
Ah, okay.
I have to think about it. It's too
You
hard.
know, you're gonna leave me in suspense like this?
Danny's
Well, I mean-
gonna crash. He's gonna need to curl up, and
I'm getting so tired. I'm dying now.
we're gonna need to put him in the shoebox. And, tuck him in. He's all tuckered out, you guys.
I'm tired now.
I mean, Jack, do you?
You had a big day.
do you think we can reduce magic to just being non-physical, or do you like? I still don't understand what we even mean when we refer to magic.
I'm bad at this.
Sorry.
I'm not sure magic makes any sense, but maybe there's a way to make sense of the supernatural. If that's
Shot that guy, like,
something.
5 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean the non-natural?
No, I think that the supernatural is to be distinguished from the non-natural.
Okay, I don't understand.
I guess I don't comprehend what it would even mean to say non-natural.
Non-natural just means there are properties that are not studied by the natural sciences or not reducible to properties studied by the natural science.
Okay, that I can understand. I guess I had a different conception of it.
But the supernatural science is to study the supernatural.
But the question becomes, how do we know that something's not studyable by the natural sciences when we could always be left with, like, oh, there's some laws that we're just unaware of?
Well, if you had an a priori argument that some phenomenon were not law-like.
Do you think if you argued for the existence of something like abstract, that would constitute supernatural phenomena?
I would call that non-natural.
Okay.
Who's the girl in that music video that was just posted?
I mean, it just seems simply that magic seems to be something like that which, you know, violates our notions of, like, physical laws or natural laws. That's as simple as it gets for me.
But if it violates our notions in a way which later leads us to revise our notions,
No, we're
we
just
would just say
wrong.
that it. Yeah, right. So we would just say that we were perceiving it to be unnatural, but upon investigation, then it just revises our estimate of what's natural.
Yeah.
So that would
Like-
just mean supernatural is equivalent to unexplainable.
In some cases. I think it'd
So
be
everything's
reasonable.
supernatural until it's not.
I mean, I don't
Right.
think it's necessarily irrational to, like, if I you know, with the tree fairy stuff, like the rings, the mushroom rings, if I saw that first time I saw it and I would deposit fairies, I don't think it's irrational.
I mean, I think the idea was it's not that irrational then, but based on your background experience, it would be.
Yeah.
Based on your background experience, it would be irrational, but not based off of like
The first person that saw it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So if
But yeah,
Danny
the
gets a knock at his window at 2 in the morning and the guy is out there and says, "I'm a fairy, let me in," Danny would let him in.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know how I feel about fairies.
Insert gay joke.
Well,
I was about to
the-
say the homosexual
the-
community has a different
You
interpretation.
know this
of
thing about
fairy.
Danny, which is that he distinguishes being gay from being homosexual.
What?
Yeah, do you know that?
No.
There's a big difference.
Danny, what's the difference?
Well,
Elaborate.
there's been a problem in the gay community, right? People want to put you in these 2 categories when really there's kind of 3, or at least there's a spectrum of 3 categories, whatever that means. Don't ask. But
Oh boy.
there's masculine, like masculine gay men, or masculine homosexual men. Okay. Then
What the
there's
fuck?
there's masculine.
And that's you, right, Danny?
Let me explain. Let me explain. People are laughing over me, and this is serious. It's actually there's a science to this. This is a science, okay? Look,
I think I'm having a heart attack.
If that was recorded, I'd totally make a remix.
look,
Did
okay.
Danny drink too much coffee or something?
Hold up. Danny, would you say that being homosexual is merely physical, but being gay is magical?
Let me explain this, okay? So there are masculine homosexual men and there's feminine homosexual men, right? I don't really like feminine homosexual men, and I especially don't like gay homosexual men because the gay mannerisms, like oh my god, you know, all that stuff, like the lisp actually is like very unattractive to me. But I think I would distinguish that from like femininity, okay? like there's like the gay, the gay persona. It's different than like femininity, and that's why I think there should be like a third category.
And there can be masculine, feminine, and gay heterosexual men. On
Yes,
this text.
yes. There, like Sugar is Poison is definitely a gay heterosexual.
I can see it.
Oh, that's quotable.
Could we get that scream
What?
as a sound clip that we can play over the
Okay,
podcast
so
whenever
that's-
we feel like
I
it?
think
Squishy is. Are you skeptical, Squishy?
What were you saying, Nix?
well, there's a term which is effeminate, which may not actually involve homosexuality or gayness. Like when people say, "Oh, that little boy wants to play with dolls," that's effeminate, right? They're impugning that he is not traditionally masculine; he's being feminine. So the characteristic that you're describing is something kind of like that. It's a kind of behavior.
X-Man, you're just really bringing the energy level way, way, way down. Way. Like subterranean.
But y'all understand that
Got real gay
but
equivalent.
everyone
TV
agrees in
channels.
here that Sugar is Poison is not feminine. He's just gay.
Northwest 330.
No, he's Metro.
Do I have that quote right?
I don't know if we can say that Danny's definition of gay is comparable to a because
I don't think he called him a boy.
when Danny says gay, it seems as if he's referring specifically to characteristics exhibited by homosexuals, but the individual being called gay may not be a homosexual. Effeminate is a little bit of a different concept, at least from my understanding.
Oh, it feels like he's defining gay as like the people that are like outwardly gay, that like are gay for like show, as opposed to someone that's
That wasn't
more,
my understanding. When he says gay, he's just referring to somebody who isn't necessarily a homosexual, but exhibits stereotypical characteristics of a homosexual.
Now,
Right.
Danny is an example of a gay heterosexual.
Yeah, I hate that about myself.
how to be gay straight.
Look, I just posted. Look, this proves it. This was on Grindr. Look, this was on Grindr. Look, okay. So the guy said, "I'm gay. It's a spectrum from mass to femme. I live on the whole spectrum, but I don't like talking to guys like you who buy other gays based on how they speak or if they wear makeup." So you were correct. I'm not. Yeah. So there's like something in between. I just call it gay.
Danny's posting his Grinder.
No, this is not mine. This is not mine.
Yeah, I
Okay.
hate that for myself. Penis Tooth. I think you can get a copy of it from